So, good day, everyone. In this video, we are going to introduce to you about the part 3, lesson 3, which is the theater production and appreciating plays. Before we start our discussion, let me say to you the objectives. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to number 1, explore the world of theater, its elements, processes, creative people in production, sets, script, and etc. Number 2, work as a team to plan, produce, and create a video of stage play appropriate to English language learners. Number 3, apply skills in writing, acting, directing, and producing an original or adapted stage play with proper verbal and nonverbal communication strategies in relation to English language teaching activities. Lastly, label the proscenium stage. Again, good day everyone. I am Roger Namansomo and I'm here to present to you the topic about the understanding evaluation. So what is evaluation? In technical terms, evaluation is a systematic determination and assessment of a subject's merit, worth, and significance using criteria governed by a set of standards. Now, as we observe and we all know that evaluation is a process that someone is evaluating a thing or a performance. No, they are evaluating, criticizing, and judging a subject's merit, worth, and significance, or it may be a performance or an output, using a criteria or a guidelines governed by a set of standards. But in theater production, evaluation is the way people feel about the quality of something. What we mean by the evaluation in theater production, it is the chorus who give feedback, their impression towards the performance. Like for example, they are happy in the performance or they are impressed, they are very entertained, or we should subjugate to an opposite eh, feedback like they are not actually happy about the performance. Like they give a poor performance. So the feedback of the chorus or or the audience have bad feedback. And in evaluating a certain performance, it includes microsections to be observed in the evaluation. So there are microsections like I said earlier, there is a criteria. Now, the following description summarize the information the teachers usually use to complete the evaluation of your performance. Number 1, approach. It is a very important thing in the stage play or a classroom based stage play. In approach, you are giving an enthusiast aura in your audiences as you walk in the stage and you give a first impression of you being ready or being prepared. Approach is very important to give a good first impression towards your audience. Number 2 is setup. Setup includes the props or the extra things in the play. In setting up a props in the stage play, one must be fast and quiet enough to put all the props in the designated areas in order to give a more smooth transition in the play. So that's the setup. It includes the props and setting up the props in the stage play. Number 3, the introduction. In a classroom-based stage play, it is very casual. It is very usual to see the performer first introduce their name. Second is to introduce the play, the title of the play. And third, to introduce the playwright in order to give a credit to the author. Number 4 is the energy. Energy is a very important thing in the play. When you are energetic, you your performance will appear enthusiastic and interesting. So, so prioritize giving energy to your performance in order to lure the eyes of the audience to give more focus on your performance. That's the importance of energy. Number five is the voice. Voicing in the characterization is very important. It tends to give more emphasis on how you depict the your lines in the play as it as you prioritize like pronunciation, enunciation, the quality of your voice, the intenseness of the voice to give more emotions to your acting. So that's the importance of voice. Number six is the movement. Movement is something like a support to your voice. It gives more emotions. When voice gives emotion, movement gives more emotions as you depict your lines. It includes the body gestures, body movements, and your body languages. Depends on your lines. Number seven is the facial expressions. When the voice is gives more impression and the movement gives more emotion, the facial expression give most of your emotions. In facial expressions, you are tend to mold your face that is based on your characters. Like for example, your character is crying, so your facial expression should be agonized or gloomy or crying. When you are when you are actually happy, so your face should be also happy. So that's the importance of facial expression to give more emphasis on your characterization and give more emotion. Number eight is pacing. Pacing um, is a sort of the fastness, the transitions of the scenes in the stage play. And in the basic stage play, it includes the exposition, the rising of the action, the climax, the rising action, and the denouement. In exposition, it starts slowly with introducing the characters and describing the the scene. Then in the rising action, it it slowly gives the rising action of towards the climax, and the climax is the main scene in the stage play. And when the climax starts falling, the pacing of the story will begin to become more fast, that it will that the transition climax will become the falling action, and the falling action will be transitioned in the denouement. So that's the pacing. It is the fastness of the story scenes. Number nine, characterization. Characterization. It is the most important thing in the stage play. Characterization includes the the actors, choosing the actors that fitted them in the character. Like for example, the character shows um, a kind and a quiet woman. So in choosing an actor in that character, um, they should pick um, an actor that fitted the most in the character, not only in the physical appearance, not only in the physical appearance, but the actors should also master and familiarize their characters as a part of their characterization. As it gives more characterization, it gives more emphasis and it gives more emotion to the stage play. So that's the characterization. It's very, very important. Number 10 is focus. Focus. It is normally to be focused on the stage play when you are performing because you don't know when you are not focused and it is your time to perform, so you are not ready to be on stage because you are not focused, you are not aware on the circumstances on the stages. That's why focus is very important, to be aware all the time. Number 11, closing. In closing, in a proper or the theater play, closing tends to close the red huge curtain. But in a classroom based play performance, it only uses no. The actors usually bow their head as they end the play. They actually bow, and that's it. The play it is a sign that the play or the performance is over, and that's the closing. Number 12, lines and memorization. No, in characterization, no, it is important to memorize and familiarize the characters. And as you familiarize the characterization, you should memorize the script in your part. There's no such thing as reading your line in the play. You need to memorize. You need to masterize to give an emotion to your lines. It's part of the memorization. It does not only focuses on memorizing your lines, but also applying emotions on your lines. So that's the lines and the memorization. So these 12 criterias or these 12 variables are very important in evaluating a performance as a teacher. So this is a guide as us future teachers in observing and evaluating our students' performances. And I think that would be all in my part. Thank you very much and thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone. Let's talk how do we understand scene work. First is what is a scene work? Scene study involves actors taking a specific scene from a movie, television, or play and working on it in front of an acting instructor or a group of peers. The goal is to receive specific constructive feedback that helps the actor improve their craft and their abilities in specific roles. In short, scene work is the place where an action or event, real or imaginary, occurs. It is also the setting for the action of a play, novel, and etc. Next is what is scene in theaters. A scene is a dramatic part of a story at a specific time and place between specific characters. The term is used in both filmmaking and theater with some distinctions between the two. Scene is usually defined as all of the dramatic events which occur in a single place and time until either place or time changes. In screenplays and teleplays, scenes are numbered in the original draft sequentially according to every change in location or time. How do scenes work in plays? An act is a part of a play defined by elements such as rising action, climax, and resolution. A scene normally represents action happening in one place at one time and is marked off from the next scene by a curtain, a blackout, or a brief emptying of the stage. Afterwards, the actors of the play continue to act in front of the audience and repeat the same routine up to the end of the play. Lastly, what is acting? Acting is an activity in which a story is told by means of its enactment by an actor or actress who adopts a character. In theater, it may be in theater, television, film, radio, or any other medium that makes use of the mimetic mode.
Good day, everyone. I'm Eza Faliado and I'm going to discuss the equipment and skills involved in the production of play. So, first, that is the director. The role of the director is to bring the inert printed script to life, to turn the playwrights into reality. So, as the director, you places control on everything related to the performance, and it includes rehearsing the actors. Besides from rehearsing them, you have to plan the stage play. Therefore, to meet these charges, the director must organize the realization of his or her vision. So he must decide upon the interpretation to be given the play. So he need to work with the playwright, with the designers and technicians in planning the production, cast and rehearse the actors. So, in deciding upon interpretation, the director must analyze the script to discover the play's structure and meanings. He must be able to envision the play's atmosphere or mode and know how to actualize in terms of design and theatrical space. And finally, the director must be able to see the play in terms of both physical and verbal action. So, the planning for the stage play includes the following functions. First is the blocking. It is where you position the actors on the stage and direct their moves on how or when they will walk across the stage or what the actor should do during the scene. So, in other words, you will arrange them on stage to create a scene that is interesting and can able to express the plot and subtext of a scene. Next is the stare directions. It is about where the actor should look during such scene. So stare, which means to look for a long time with the eyes wide open, especially when surprised or frightened or thinking. However, you have to keep them few and simple to avoid uncomfortableness for the audience. And next, making slight and necessary changes, especially in lines that are hard to speak, so the actors were able to give emphasis and brings clarity to the meaning of the words that needs to be expressed. And lastly is the stage business, a movement or gesture used by an actor to create an effect. So you have to see their gestures if they are time matched to the accompanying dialogue. So, moreover, SM Tucker also offers the following for planning the play's staging. So, first is understand thoroughly the meaning of the play, the author's intent, emotions, and dominant mode, and its varying emotions, so you can clearly envision what and how the story plot goes. Next is read the play to the cast, explaining the items in item 1. So by doing this, the cast will also be aware of what the story all about and how they should bring the character to themselves. Next, have the cast read the play aloud according to their assigned rules. So during rehearsals, let the cast read aloud or read the script aloud so you will know if they done their lines appropriately or if there are changes needed. Next is before the first actual rehearsal, determine what effects are to be created, so the stage business in general for each character. Next is correct errors in pronunciation, emphasis, posing, and rate of utterance as soon as possible. So the words will be clearly uttered and convey the meanings appropriately based on the story. Next is begin with the business as soon as the actors can read their lines intelligently, not after memorizing them. So after allowing the actors to read their lines, as the director, you will immediately let them practice the dialogue of how they will deliver the sentences so you can picture out already the flow of the story. Next is leave as much as possible to the actors. This is the prime principle of directing. Do not act out the part for him or to the actor. Just let the actors play their part and portray the character. What you have to do is only to supervise them. However, insist that each actor shall understand the character, the actual meaning of his lines, and their emotional value. Next is have longer rehearsals than more frequent short ones. So practicing with longer time allows the actors to emerge in the rules until they are automatic. Next is the dress rehearsal. It should be as finished as the opening performance with no vitality weak points. So having a dress rehearsal is to improve the production and make sure that it is perfect before public sees it. So it can also be a indicator that every detail of the show meets expectations. And lastly, for the instructor director, the cardinal rule is preserve the special interest of your students and the general interest of the institution. Also, you have to know your aim and how to reach it without jeopardizing the cast and gross other essential interest and without creating antagonism. So now the second element or equipment of the production is the actor. The job of the actor or the actress is to bring to life characters created by playwrights and scriptwriters. They interpret the role with guidance from a director. So for the actors to reveal the character, they first need to study how to know him or the character he will act, what should be the tone of his voice when he talk. And to do this, the actor should read the text repeatedly, silently at first and then aloud. Now, the actor's voice and body. So on stage, each actor must project his or their voice to the farthest row in the auditorium. Even stage whispers must be loud enough to be heard while sounding like a whisper, so it can still be heard by the audience at the back. Besides, besides from volume, actors should speak very clearly by articulating all of the sounds in a word. They must also learn to pronounce difficult words to be understood. So, today, unusual voices and unique dialects have placed in the entertainment industry, especially on the radio, like on radio drama, in which a person speaks into different tone to portray the story. Because the listener relies solely on the sense of hearing, so it is important to develop your voice, the tone, and projection. Aside from their voice, the actor's other great tool is their body. Therefore, you should adjust your posture, your walk, your gestures, your use of the body to the character. So, using both the body and voice, the experienced actor can be anyone they want to be, in any age, in any situation. combining information, emotion, and their own personal style. So the actor interprets the character. Therefore, actors analyze the character's posture based on age, health, social status, job situation, and more. Next is number three, the visual aspect. So the visual aspect refers to the physical relationship established between the actors and audience. These are the visual elements that the audience sees as they watch the play. Although dialogue is the chief source of character revelation, the actor revealed the character through the dress and figure, the actor's apparent physical condition, poise, or lack of it, and of every movement and gesture. The character's first contact with the audience is known as visual. Therefore, the actor should adjust his or her posture, or including their walk, their gestures, and use of the body to the character. For example, if the character is a king, so you have to be kingly in poise and attitude, wear a royal dress and act like a king to capture the audience attention or their taste and convince them about the story. So you may wear clothes and props that will help project the necessary image, but it will be your inner conviction that will carry on from these outer trappings. So you have to try to observe either personally or through film clips somebody similar to your character. So you must study the person you will be on that stage. Next is the stage action. It is also known as the stage business. It is the movements and activities of the actors on the stage during a performance. So it refers to gestures used by an actor to add atmosphere to a scene or to assist in the performance of character. Moreover, actors must also know their place on the stage, their gesture and movements, especially during awkward intervals. There were also points to remember, such as that stage action, no matter what or how seemingly trivial, must expresses some motive or character trait like pacing the floor, breaking free from an embrace, turning away from a conversation, or frequently withdrawing from the stage or retiring to an isolated corner. So these actions must speak as eloquent as your words. And the last one is the stage manager. It is the individual who supports and organizes all the different teams involved in the day-to-day running of a theater production. It is from rehearsal through performances and then post-show. So as a stage manager, you must have an ordered and disciplined mind. You must have a keen imagination in order to visualize the scene as suggested in the script. This must be coupled with technical know-how to realize the concept. So on top of this, you must have a good public relation as a stage manager because you have to deal with everyone involved in the production. So the director from whom you get your instructions, to the people to whom you intern or give your instructions, the costume designer, the wardrobe mistress, the stage designer, the master carpenter, the property master, the electricians, the persons in charge of the sound system, and the sound effects. So that's all for my report, and I hope that you learn something from it.
Good morning everyone. I am Francis Alpidang. Today I'm going to discuss about the stage and its equipment. So let's start. The stage. A play must have a performance space. This space should provide an area where the players perform and a separate area where the audience watches. Stage can be seen or even used in our school, or it might be in a theater or auditorium, or it might be part of the classroom. When you perform, space can be in any area designated for acting that is apart from the audience. There are many types of stage for a variety of play. Next. First, the proscenium stage. The most common stage in educational theater is the proscenium stage. It's usually a raised picture frame stage or backstage. It is a kind of stage that is like a box, but with an opening in front to enable or allows the people to see through it, to see the play made by the performer or by the actors. At this stage, at this type of stage, it has many important parts. This includes a proscenium arc or frame, surrounds the opening of the stage much like a giant three-sided picture frame. A grand drape or curtain hangs across the imaginary proscenium line and can be opened to reveal the picture or scene to the audience. Entrances onto the stage are made by the actors from offstage spaces to the right and left of the acting area, called wings. An actor's entrance from the wings is hidden from the audience's view by curtains or scenery. Often in front of the grand drape is a portion of the stage extending past the proscenium arc toward the audience. This part of the stage is called the apron. Scenes are sometimes played on the apron with the grand drape closed, often while scenery is being changed behind the curtain. Have you seen Swan Lake at YouTube? It is a curve ballet. It is a kind of play in a form of ballet which is performed using the proscenium stage. Kung papanoorin nyo yun, dun nyo makikita kung ano ang itsura ng proscenium stage. Next stage, we have the arena stage. This is a stage constructed so that the audience can sit on all sides of the production. Often this stage is lower than the audience. Kung nakapanood na kayo ng mga concert sa MOA Arena, then it's good to know. Kasi ang MOA Arena ay isang halimbawa ng arena stage kung saan ang mga tao ay nakapalibot sa isang stage pero ang mga audience na to ay nasa itaas nanonood. Next, we have the thrust stage. Another type of stage extends or projects into the seating area of the audience. This type of stage is called a thrust stage. The audience sits on three sides of the stage. The thrust stage has qualities of both the proscenium stage and the arena stage. Next, we have flexible staging. When a performance space does not fit into one of the three basic shapes of categories, it is usually called flexible staging. A current trend is to stage plays in spaces other than the actual theaters. If your school does not have an auditorium or theater with a stage, flexible staging might be used in a classroom, cafeteria, gymnasium, corridor, or band or choir room. Through flexible staging, performances are often staged inside empty commercial buildings, libraries, shopping centers, and malls, as well as outside in parks and recreation areas. The many ways and places in which plays can be staged remind us of William Shakespeare's words over 400 years ago. All the words a stage. Next, let's proceed to another topic. Stage terminology. First one, we have the performance space. First, you need to become acquainted with the parts of the performance space. As you study the new terms, be sure to look at the diagrams that have all the parts labeled. Anything within the stage, sitting and visible to the audience is considered on stage. Anything beyond the stage, sitting and not visible to the audience is considered off stage. Next, we have stage positions. Directors use a set of standard terms to guide actors on the stage. On the proscenium stage, the directions downstage and upstage date back to the days when the stages were built, where the rear of the stage slanting upward, away from the audience. Downstage was the area closest to the audience, and upstage was away from the audience. Although all stage floors no longer slant, the names for these areas have remained. Other directions such as stage right, center stage, and stage left are always given as if the actor were standing on the stage facing the audience. When you are on stage, stage right and stage left will always be your right and left as you face the audience. Next, we have acting areas. The proscenium stage floor is divided into imaginary blocks called acting areas, where the director can move people or place furniture and scenery. Small proscenium stages are divided into 9 acting areas and large stages into 15. Planning the movement for the play is blocking the play. Next, we have selection of the play. In choosing a play, consider the following factors. A. A play with artistic entertainment value. B. Your expected audience's interest. The play should be neither too subtle nor commonplace. C. The required facilities are and your group's probable resources. D. Your group's interest in and enthusiasm for the play. Next, we have basic steps in play. First, we have auditions. Announce the schedule of auditions and the venue will in advance of the dates. Play it up in order to create interest and give a chance to more people. You might discover some surprising talents, select parts that will bring out and test the aspirant's dramatic skills and fitness in the particular rules. In this basic steps in play, auditions, or also known as screening, dito natin makikita or ma-observe kung sino ang most talented or skillful people, no? So, next we have the rehearsal. This include the following: reading, blocking series of rehearsals, technical rehearsal, dress rehearsal, and word rehearsal. Sa basic step and play na to, dito natin makikita ang final practice ng mga performer. Like for example, rehearsal sa storytelling, dito sila nagpa-finalize ng kanilang mga gagawin. So, next we have the performance. Cast and crew should be ready with their respective equipment, costumed and made up or make up, and at their post before the start of each performance. Next, we have curtain call, the last part of basic steps in play. After the final curtain, lights are brightened on the stage. The cast comes out to take a bow, usually starting with the minor characters who move to the sides, making room for the other actors. After the leading actors have taken a bow, the director comes in. He may also call for the stage manager and the crew and present them to the audience. At this last basic step in play is where the play is ended, and all the cast, actors, managers, the crew, and the directors are called to get in stage to make a vow. So that's all for my discussion. I hope that you have learned something from me. So thank you for listening.
Good day everyone, my name is Lirayan Doy and today I'll present to you my part or my topic which is on theater conventions. When we say theater conventions, we are referring to the techniques, practices, devices unique to theatrical productions. So these techniques, practices, or devices are the ones who are contributing to the overall performance. So here are some theater conventions. Performance space, the program, house lights, curtain up or open, intermission, blackout, curtain down or close, curtain call, and applause. Now let's proceed first to the performance space. When we say performance, we are referring to the play or the theatrical play. So when we say space, we are referring to the place where the performance will occur. So the space or place where the performance will occur. For example, if you are in school, we usually encounter this theatrical plays on gyms and other stages. So these places are the performance space. Now let's proceed to the program. So we usually encounter this program if we are attending the school programs. So the program is a printed sheet of paper or booklet providing interesting information about the production. So the paper that we got if we are attending or on a program, so it contains the information about the program itself. It contains the flow or also the flow of the program. Now let's proceed to the house lights. So when we say house lights, it is a literal light. So a universally used signal that the show will about to begin. It is usually located above the audience or the ceiling. So the house lights, I did not encounter this in any places because I haven't yet attended any professional theater place. But as I researched to the internet, so the house lights is located above the ceiling. So if the play will about to start or the performance will about to begin, so the house lights will blink as a signal that the show will about to begin. So now let's proceed to the curtain up or open. When we say curtain up or open, it doesn't literally mean that the curtain will go up. Though the curtains, if we are in a professional theater, will go upward or flown and actual go up into the fly area. But it usually means that the curtain will open and the performance will begin. So most school curtains fall from side to side. But professional curtains are flown and actually go up into the fly area. The expression curtain up or open refers to the opening of those curtains. So if you are not on a professional setting, then the curtains will usually go from actually in the middle. Then the two curtains will part their ways into the left and right side. So that is curtain up or curtain open. Now let's proceed to the intermission. So we are very common about this term intermission. So it is a short break in the play's action for the audience. It usually occurs between two acts. So this intermission is for entertainment for the audience. That will usually occur if the main performance will take the rest or if they are on a break. So for example, dance performance. It is notice that intermission is not related to the main performance. So that is intermission. Now let's proceed to the blackout. It shows the passage of time at the end of scene or act. So when we say blackout, for example, if the performance is pretending to sleep, so the entire stage will dim its light and it will actually go black out. So it shows that the time has passed. Or usually it is also used on the ending of the scene. So the lights will go dim and then it will totally go black out. Now let's proceed to the curtain down or curtain close. So it refers to the fall of the curtain at the end of act or play. It is often followed by an intermission. So it does not literally mean that curtain down or close, the curtain will go literally down. So in profession, just like I mentioned before, in professional setting, it may actually go downwards. But if we are on school play or on school setting, the curtains will on a direction from two sides, which is left and right, and they will collide on the middle. So that is what is curtain down or close in a school setting. So it is often followed by an intermission. So if a curtain will close, it will reopen again and a new intermission will occur. So if it is also done after the last act, then it indicates that the play is over. So if the curtain down or close will occur on the last performers, so it means that the play is over or the performance is totally over. So it is usually followed by a reopening of the curtain for a curtain call. So I will discuss later what is curtain call. So curtain down or close means that the performance is at its end. So it does not literally, again, it is not literally means that the curtain will go downward. So it usually occurs on the professional settings only. So now let's proceed to the curtain call. So what is curtain call? To an actor, it is one of the most exciting part and rewarding part of the performance. It occurs at the end of the performance when the actors come on stage to acknowledge their appreciation of the audience and to take a bow. So when we say curtain call, it is on the actors' side of appreciation to the presence of the audience. So the audience will be the one who will be appreciated by the actors in this part. So they will show their acknowledgement in a form of maybe waving their hands and usually taking a bow. So that is curtain call. Now let's proceed to the side of the audience appreciating the actors, which is on the applause. So we are very common about applause. If you are on any reporting or stage performance, so applause will usually occur at the end of the performance. So it is showing our appreciation about the performance showed by the performers. So it's the opportunity for the audience to show appreciation and how much they enjoyed the performance. It is an actual acknowledgement and reward for the hard work and effort that went into putting on the production. So when we conduct an applause to the actors, it is a big thing for them. It will boost their confidence, and it will also indicates that their hard work pays off. So that is the purpose of applause. Now let's proceed to the audience etiquette. So audience means those are those people who attended to witness the play. So when we say also etiquette, etiquette means the rules, regulation that an audience must follow. So for example, if nata sa traditional Filipino dinner, so what is the usually etiquette that we encounter? O, di ba kanang magkaon? So, bawalan ta sa atong mga lola or lolo na mag-istorya if nata sa kananan. Bawal ta mag-discuss ng problems or any discussions that will ruin the dinner. So, that is etiquette. It is the rule or regulation that everyone must follow. So, in the theater, it is the appropriate audience behavior at a theatrical event. It is the expectation about you as an audience of the theater. So it is expected from us that we must follow the regulation or the proper behavior if we are on a theater. So it begins when you enter the theater or auditorium. For example, so I have here some examples. I got this from the internet or other sources. So here are some examples. Remove hats. So removing hats is one of the etiquette. Then controlling coughing. So controlling coughing and avoid coughing is the same. Noises off and avoiding disturbing others is the same, but noises off means that you will have to mute everything or everything that you have. So for example, if you have a phone, so you have to turn it off or you have to mute it to avoid disturbing others. So avoid disturbing others will also means that you have to avoid talking to your partner or your companions in the theater. So because usually talking about something on a theater may disturb the other audience that are watching or focusing on the play. So that is some of the audience etiquette. Now let's proceed to the last part, which is on appreciating theater. Now when we say appreciating theater, it is acknowledging the theater itself. So evaluating dramatic performance is a valuable skill beyond the theater classroom. When your class attends a live theater production or views television, drama, and films, you will be given an opportunity to study and appreciate theater as an art form. So it is acknowledging that the theater is a form of art. So through this experience, you will also develop your sense of aesthetic appreciation. It is the ability to recognize, understand, and value that which is pleasing, beautiful, cultured, and tasteful in the arts, which is on theater, music, visual arts, and dance. For example, as you develop an appreciation for live theater, you will feel the responsibility to support only performances that have merit and are worthy of your time and energy. So for example, if moingon ko na you are appreciating a person, so if you are appreciating a person, that person must have done something to you that is worthy of your appreciation. So the same with the theater plays. If the theater show or the play show showed something to you that is worthy of your attention, then you will naturally appreciate that performance. So the other term here in my appreciating theater is the theater itself. So when we say appreciating theater, it is acknowledging the theater as a form of art. So that is appreciating theater. So that's all my part. Thank you for watching. I hope you get all the discussions or the explanations that I have mentioned. Thank you.